If I had to do it all over again, hi, I'm Jonathan Pritchett with Theology, Geek, Fitness. In this video, I'm going to talk about a discussion that I've been having with certain people. I guess it's a discussion I've had frequently, especially this time of year, where everyone has made New Year's resolutions and they're like, I need to get in shape, I need to lose weight, etc. And now that I've been doing this for several years, going on 5 years, people ask me, well, what have you learned? If you had to do it all over again, what would you do the same and what would you do differently? Because I lost, back in 2019, I lost 75 pounds and got in really good shape, and I've kept the weight off ever since, and I've been trying to gain muscle ever since, even though I'm in my 40s, going on late 40s now. But people asked, if you had to do it again, what would you do? So let me start with talking about what I would do the same. You've probably heard on so many fitness channels and weight loss channels and stuff to make small changes and gradually, adjust things and lose the weight slowly over time. I did not, and they say that somehow increases your chances of keeping the weight off and all of that. I did not follow that advice. I dove right into it. I just drastically cut my calories to no more than 1,500 calories a day for 5 days a week and no more than 2,000 calories a day on the weekends. I decided I was going to get no less than 10,000 steps a day, 7 days a week, and I was going to work out at the gym for 5 days a week. The only slow start I did was I started because, just for whatever reason over life and the fact that, 100 years ago when I was younger, I was in better shape. And I had a couple of 15-pound dumbbells and a couple of 25-pound dumbbells. And I did start in April of 2019 walking and just doing some light dumbbell exercises or whatever. And I thought, well, if I can do this on a regular basis and I can just do whatever workouts I can at home with these little dumbbells and I stuck to it, then I could justify that I've made a habit out of this. So if I pay for a gym membership, it won't go unused because so many gym memberships go unused. And so that was the only gradual thing that I did. But for the most part, it was drastically cut calories, immediately start getting my steps in, and try to do some sort of workouts, even though I didn't really know what I was doing beyond some basic dumbbell exercises, Googling things or whatever. So that was basically it. But would I change my approach of just diving right in? Absolutely not. I don't buy this make small changes gradually over time and, you have a higher chance of succeeding. Now, I know I'm anecdotal. I'm one person, and I've kept the weight off and all of that, doing the exact opposite. But the reason why I wouldn't do it any differently is because I know the way that I am, that if I know that I have got to get something done, and at that point my life kind of depended on it, it was like I just want it over with, because I've always believed, because I've done this before. I did it in my late 20s where I had not quite gotten as big as I was back in 2019, but I gained some weight and then decided to lose it, get rid of it. So I'd been through this before, and the one thing that sticks out to me is, look, diet sucks. Period. And the more you make small changes and drag out the diet to get the weight off, is the longer you prolong that suck. And so I'm like, I just want it over with, right? And then by the time I was, where I wanted to be, I probably overshot it a little bit. I got down to 145 from 220, so that's a 75-pound drop in 6 months. I was had changed my eating habits and all of that. So I was already eating healthier and had learned certain things, and I was going to the gym on a regular basis by the end of that. But that's about the beginning and end of what I would have done the same. What I would have done the same is I just jumped right in and stuck to it. What would I have done differently? Well, what I would have done differently is investigated more eating options, because I figured out what was 1,500 calories, and I ate the same thing every day, Monday through Friday. And now that I've learned a little bit more, what I would have done is I would have probably found a program. I found a really good one early on called Lean Build that I thought was great from Undersun. I did a review on that on my channel. You should check it out. It's really probably the best one out of all the ones that I looked at. I went ahead and bought that simply because it was inexpensive and it offered the best kind of thing. Now, I don't really care what I eat, so it's not like it was a problem for me to eat the same thing 5 days a week, basically for all of my meals. I was eating like 4 to 5 times a day. That wasn't a problem, but I've learned since then that you don't have to be so, pearl clutching about what you eat, and your calorie guesses are just that. They're guesses. So it didn't really matter. Even though I would still drop my caloric intake, I would probably take a little bit more time. I've learned a lot about food prep and stuff in the subsequent years that I would just do what I'm doing now, which is take some time on Sunday to prep a couple of different options or whatever. But like I said, that's really not that important to me, but I probably wouldn't just eat the same thing every day just because it was easier to track the calories that way. That's one thing that I would do different. I would explore more food options, and there's a lot of food options, and probably rethink what I thought was like eating healthy, and it's like, okay, balance out the macros a little bit better and all of that. Probably more protein, things like that. So protein focus would probably be the biggest thing out of the food thing, but other than that, I'd probably do more variety in my food. So that's one thing I do different. The other thing I would do different is I would have taken my advice that I've given several years in a row in my getting started in whatever year, 2021, 2022, 2023, my getting started in 2024 video, whenever I put out those videos the first of the year. I would have followed my own advice. I would have gone to the gym not to join, but to play around with stuff, because I actually didn't mind working out at home before, even though I only had 4 dumbbells. But I would have explored all the options at the gym besides just using it, because it was Planet Fitness, just using the Smith machine for bench presses and for squats and whatever else, and then doing various weight machines and dumbbells. I would have done what I recommended in my own videos, which is go play around with kettlebells, go play around with the calisthenic stuff in that Synergy 360 section or whatever they call it or whatever. Tossed around some slam ball. I would have used it as a playground to figure out what do you actually like, as opposed to what do you think you should be doing because everybody's doing, bench presses and, deadlifts and whatever, and you're using a Smith machine anyway, which didn't matter because I was weak and out of shape when I started. But I'm just saying that's kind of what I was doing. And, I would have messed with the resistance bands and all of that, because I know for some people, they love to go to the gym. They get out of the house. They don't want to be at home. They want to be in that environment. For some gyms, they have community, even though I had no such community at Planet Fitness. Everyone has their head, earbuds in, and they're not paying attention to anybody. Nobody's talking to each other. People are sitting on their cell phones, hogging stations. Everyone's setting up cameras now, and all of that to clown on everyone else on their Instagram pages or whatever. That was all back then in 2019, early 2020. So I actually never cared about the gym. I was just going there because I didn't know any better. And I didn't really start investigating ways to get in shape at home until I had to when the gyms closed in 2020. But I never went back when they reopened because I found things that I liked. And so I recommend going to the gym to find things that you like, because I realized that I didn't really care about sitting on weight machines and stuff, and being at a gym. I like working out at home or in my office whenever I can. So if I'm on the road, I have equipment in my car that I can take with me. So I would have definitely investigated working out at home a lot earlier than have been forced to do it. So that I definitely would have done differently. But other than that, that's it. I probably would have investigated home workout equipment stuff. And, given the number of products I've reviewed on this channel, thanks to my patrons, you would seem like I've spent enough money to buy an enormous, squat rack or whatever, expensive bench, weight plates everywhere, a whole dumbbell rack, all of that. But really, I would have never bought that because that's not what I like. I don't currently have a barbell now. I do have weight plates for my Kinsui Adjust-A-Bells and Easy-Bells, and I have them for my Adjust-A-Mace and Adjust-A-Club and all of that stuff, you know, my Kinsui Easy Vest. And that's why I have the weight plates that I have, and I do like to lift weights, but I currently don't have a bar, even though I'm eyeing the Kinsui bar. All three of them, actually. But I mean, you know, just I've gotten into, I like the resistance bands. I like throwing around the sandbag. I love suspension training. I love just doing pull-ups and dips. So, you know, that's just me. But you should always find out what you like instead of just thinking, oh, well, I need to get fit and lose weight and go to the gym. And so, oh, I see people using this equipment or that equipment. No, go do what you like. There's so many different ways to get this done. It doesn't really matter. If you like gyms, great, go. If you don't like gyms, don't go. What I have done differently is I would have investigated home workouts. That's all I'm saying. And what kind of equipment to get that I could afford that costs relative to the same as what I'm spending on a gym membership every year, even at Planet Fitness, $10 a month plus the annual fee or whatever. So yeah, not much I'd do different. I would, the same thing I would do last time I did this time, jump right in. I'm not going to make this, the fact that it's going to suck, I'm not going to make the suck last a lot longer, but I would just, I've gotten into home fitness. I don't care about gyms or whatever. I don't care about workout buddies, even though sometimes family members work out with me. But I mean, I just, my goal is to stay fit. My goal is not to, you know, I don't really, you know, I'm not like a, oh, I just love this and I love having, no, to me, there's a purpose to all this that has to do with my health and fitness level that I don't really care about all that peripheral stuff anyway. And I don't care to do things that I don't like. Right. So there you go. Those are what I would do differently and what I would do the exact same if I had to do it all over again. If this helps you, I'm glad. If you think that, if you're still watching the video after almost 12 minutes, I appreciate it. But if you found this useless, that's fine too. But either way, if you like the video, click the like button. If you didn't like the video, click the dislike button. I don't really care either way. I just would hope that you do one or the other. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, please. And also, if you want to support what we're doing at Theology Geek Fitness, you can do that by becoming a patron at patreon.com/theologygeekfitness. $1 gets you in the door, and you get access to all kinds of workout videos featuring the kinds of equipment that I use regularly that you see on this channel. And if you pay $10 or above, you get it on my quarterly gear giveaways, because all the money I get from the patrons gets reinvested in the channel, obviously not for increasing the production value, but to buy more stuff to review. And if I like it or don't like it, either way, if I'm not going to use it on a regular basis, I offer it back to the patrons at a first come, first serve. And so that's, you get in on that if you pay $10 a month or more. And yes, those quarterlies are March, you know, June, September, and December. So those are the months that you can become a $10 patron, get a $20 piece of equipment to sell on Facebook Marketplace, and then drop your, I don't care. What can I do about it? Anyway, so there you go. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next one. God bless.